So you back now. Chaka you go the madam. Can you go the way? You be go when I think I got prison call when I like here. Let go. Wow. I came here, mom. Mama.
She was trusted with a child, a 5-year-old girl. Instead, prosecutors allege she turned that trust into unimaginable cruelty. This is Crime HQ. And tonight, we examine the disturbing case of Juliet Igwe, a woman remanded in prison after being accused of severely abusing a child under her care. According to reports, the alleged abuse occurred on November 25, 2025. The victim, a 5-year-old girl, was in the custody of Juliet Igwe. Authorities allege that the child was subjected to prolonged physical abuse, including immersion of her hands in hot water, severe burns, additional acts of physical harm. By December 2nd, when the child was rescued, medical professionals reportedly observed that her fingers had begun to decay due to the extent of the injuries. Doctors later indicated that 2 of the child's fingers might require amputation. At 5 years old, the child was removed from Juliet Igwe's custody on December 2nd, roughly a week after the alleged abuse began. That timeline has raised serious questions. How long was the child suffering before intervention? Who noticed? Who reported it? And what systems failed to act sooner? Juliet Igwe has now been remanded in prison pending the final hearing of her case. Reports suggest she could face life imprisonment if convicted under applicable child protection and grievous bodily harm laws. It is important to state clearly, she has been charged and remanded. However, she has not yet been convicted. Under the law, she remains presumed innocent until proven guilty in court. Observers noted that she reportedly began crying when the Chief Magistrate ordered her remand in prison. Some commentators question why visible emotion appeared only at that stage. There were also allegations that during earlier questioning, including interactions with the Commissioner for Women Affairs, she appeared defiant and not remorseful. However, courtroom demeanor is not legal proof. The only thing that would determine guilt is evidence presented before the court. Juliet Igwe is reportedly a mother of 3 daughters. That fact has intensified public outrage. But Crime HQ does not deal in outrage. We deal in analysis. History has shown that child abuse cases often involve misplaced aggression, control issues, psychological instability, power dynamics over vulnerable dependents. Abuse is not always about biology. It is about vulnerability and power. This case forces deeper conversations. Was the child a domestic help? Was she living away from her biological parents? What oversight existed? Who checked on her welfare? Child domestic labor remains a sensitive and ongoing issue in parts of Nigeria. And when children are placed under the care of non-relatives without proper supervision, the risk multiplies. Medical professionals reportedly confirmed severe tissue damage. When burns are left untreated for days, infection sets in, tissue dies. Amputation becomes necessary. The fact that doctors are considering removal of fingers shows the level of severity alleged. This is not minor injury. This is potentially life-altering trauma. Public outrage has been intense. Social media users have called for maximum sentencing, life imprisonment, stricter child protection enforcement. But justice must follow due process. Emotional reactions cannot replace legal procedure. The case is pending final hearing. If convicted, Juliet Igwe could face severe penalties under Child Rights Act, Criminal Code provisions on grievous harm, possibly attempted murder charges depending on prosecution framing. The outcome will depend on medical evidence, witness testimony, forensic reports, statements made during investigation. At the center of all this is a 5-year-old girl, not a headline, not a viral post, a child. A child who may grow up without full use of her hands. A child who will carry emotional scars long after this case leaves the news cycle. Justice in this case is not about revenge. It is about protection. It is about prevention. It is about making sure this never happens again. November 25th, December 2nd, a courtroom, a prison remand, and a 5-year-old fighting to heal. As this case proceeds, Crime HQ will continue to follow developments responsibly. If you suspect a child is being abused, report it. Do not assume someone else will. This is Crime HQ, where we pursue the truth and protect the vulnerable.
Emma, give the candle tea no tele. I would like to about Tigan and Minoko. Get my lay away, man.
No, it's only God will judge me.
Emma, I think I can be prison, but also when they get in a prison. And in all life imprisonment. Now, him attempted murder. And the penalty for life imprisonment. So, and they came back in a back. Yam chop trawaku ibega because name malana na ga prison because kembe last week in na police and wa ku ibega because I don't need the remorse. You not the remorse no wa kwa owu work in be the back. You would have been crying since, but you only crying now because court has ordered that you be remanded in prison. Huh?
And me baby say saka chineke yilo nyechi and me baby ka chineke yilo nyechi.
You don't mean you don't So the update at the Magistrate's Court in Owerri, the Imo State capital this morning. Chief Magistrate B.U. Adikibe ordered that this woman be remanded in Owerri Correctional Center. She agreed with the prosecution that she lacks the jurisdiction to try her because she was arraigned on a one-count charge bordering on a attempted murder, which the police prosecution said is tantamount to life imprisonment. So she agreed with the prosecutor's postulation that she lacked the jurisdiction to entertain the matter, and she adequately agreed with him and ordered that she be remanded in Owerri Correctional Center and the case file be transferred to DPP for further legal advice. So, Madam, give me a busy aqua. That can be 5th of December, but we beg her. We beg her. Keep it because I think I can shut up. My own. Even in court this morning. Commissioner for Women Affairs, she was not remorseful. She was so bold and elegant. The time we be born do you understand? Not only no relaka about we're gonna look at the chat. Not only no relaka we're gonna miracle. Yeah, candle. Yeah, we require candle. Our candle, Tiga, what I don't know, Shanu Mom. I don't want to get Shamu. We require the same candle, the same candle, what? And EY would that this incident happened on the 25th of November. This incident, she inflicted this level of injury on this child on the 25th of December. And allowed this child to and allowed this child to wander until we rescued this child on the 2nd of December, 1 week after. And by that time, this girl's fingers had started decaying. We have a bad news now from the doctors this morning. They said that this girl, that 2 of her fingers will be going off. That's the bad news we have. That is the bad news we got this morning before we came to court. The doctors told us that out of the 10 fingers already, that 2 are condemned, that they are unsalvageable. And all with the level of wickedness, this woman inflicted on a 5-year-old child. And the irony of this whole thing is that this woman, this woman with 3 daughters, How about the delicate nature of the girl child? With 3 daughters. Despite that, this girl, perpetual deformation. Yeah, no say I call now because the court ordered that she be remanded in prison. Not that she's remorseful. Not that she's remorseful. So I am a wee wife.
Why don't you people leave us to beat this woman? Why don't you beat this woman? I'm not presenting to. I'm not presenting to.
It's okay, so